Hello, everyone. Um, Back again for another little chat about things. Something that's come up recently. Hope you're all well, by the way. Um, I've seen a couple of videos now about fake streamers and YouTube streamers getting involved and promoting online casinos. Throughout the UK and what have you. Now, the guidelines from the UKGC has recently been shuffled about a little bit, making it somewhat harder for the streamers to operate over here. You're probably all well aware, if you watch these guys, most of the streams nowadays are about spending excessive amounts of money on bonus buys on these slots, just bypassing the old-fashioned way of just playing it for hundreds of spins, waiting for this thing to drop in. Now you can just, can buy it. Lethal, absolutely lethal, sort of introduced in the sort of tail end of my gambling life, and really one of the reasons that I had to knock it on the head. It was just stupidity and insanity all rolled into one. So, there's always been this debate about streamers, whether they help or whether they don't. In the early days, I was quite a firm believer that, it was definitely the Marmite situation, really, and I hate that term. But I can't describe it any other way. I mean, for some people, it was a blessing, really, that they didn't have to actually sacrifice any money, and potentially got the same reward from it. There was it sort of give them their fix, if you like, and they got some entertainment out of it, and wasn't damaging their finances and stuff. So if you look at it that way, then why the hell not? If it's keeping you from damaging your life and your family, and paying your bills and stuff, then all well and good, in my opinion. On the flip side of it, it probably has, unquestionably introduced people that never have gambled, or they've stumbled across these sites and kind of like managed to get hooked to the videos, watching them regular and thinking, well, these guys, they win fairly often, they win big. I know a lot of the streamers out there promote that, look back at my videos collectively and you'll see that, I don't always win. However, losing videos aren't really that appealing to a wider audience, are they? I mean, if you look through YouTube and stuff, the most watched videos from streamers are the ones with advertising, humongous wins, and what have you. I mean, it's just it's clickbait, they call it, and it's there for a reason, isn't it? So if you want to get the big views, you don't want people playing low stakes and losing, do you? You want them to play big stakes and win, and this is it's been proven. So fake streaming. Now, obviously, the way the affiliate scheme kind of works, from my understanding, is pretty obvious, isn't it? It's a marketing tool from these casinos, and rather going through the standard channels and stuff by advertising through Google and getting yourself posted out and doing a whole lot of hard work, why don't you just dish it out to these people that are advertising on your behalf in mass? And some of these streamers have got 100,000 subscribers. I mean, it's going out to a mass audience, and let's look at it. I mean, 95% of the people that are watching it are probably gamblers, aren't they? So and the last 5% are soon to become. So where does the fake bit come in? So obviously they are affiliated to the casino that they're promoting, and that comes with a reward. So be it, they're getting paid via the casino directly to advertise, and promote their site via their stream, or they're getting a favourable, some favourable return on their deposits or things like that. It really is down to the individual to make their own assessment, on whether these are true or not. But I mean, I did start watching them out. A lot of the streamers that I watched in the early days, let's put it this way, I mean, they were running a real shed of an operation. They were sort of in the back room in a 2-bedroom flat, generally scraping by, let's put it that way. And those same people that were in that situation back then are very much different these days. So where's that revenue? Where's that income come from? Unquestionably, the sums that they're gambling with, doesn't suggest that you'd be able to maintain that life. I mean, towards the end of my gambling disasters, I was spending a lot of money, but I didn't win a lot. And these people are gambling every day, so that equates to a gambling addiction. So they have exactly the same lack of control as we do, surely. But then if you take the risk out of it, and I can only look at it from that point of view, I try and work it out that obviously if I didn't have any risk attached to my gambling, and if I was playing with, let's say, funds that were donated to me via the casino that I'm promoting, I mean, yeah, I can make that look pretty good, can't I? And enjoy it, because regardless of the outcome, I'm going to get paid. And then the other thing, obviously, because they're promoting the website and they're going to drop the links into their pages, which is a little bit more trickier for them to do now. But back in the day, the sign-ups that they would try and promote, subscribe to us, give us a thumbs up to support the channel. Be really handy if you could, click the link and make a deposit, and then all these giveaways that they used to do, all you got to do is deposit £20 and then you're entered into a free cash giveaway at the end of the month. I mean, yeah, it's just textbook marketing, isn't it? So but the issue that I have with it is that, yeah, obviously they're making a huge income out of it. I was messing around with the camera there, wasn't I? They're making a huge revenue out of it, for very little risk. Do I think they're fake? Yeah, I guess a lot of them are. I mean, if they're not doing it for pleasure, I mean, there's tons of stuff on YouTube that people are playing, computer games, whatever, this, that, and everything else, but they're really actually doing it for their own pleasure, and it's just being videoed, the other side of it with a lot of these streamers is, oh yeah, they are getting free cash, or they're making let's say, a fairly minor deposit and getting a huge whack put on top with, we've all played at casinos and been given a bonus and what have you, and that comes with a substantial, wagering requirement, which is very seldom met. And you never achieve it because the criteria is too large, but these guys, they will get a match bonus or whatever, or a couple of 100x, 500x on top of what they deposit, and they might get, if we got 50x wagering, they might get 5 or 10, which is easily achievable on a regular basis. So there's the incentive for these guys. The damage it's done, like I said, on one side, I think that it might have produced some good for some people and kept them away from the online casinos and the bookies. But on the other side, I think they've probably induced bigger problems by bringing people to the attention of gambling and maybe glamorizing it somewhat. And there's nothing glamorous about gambling once you're out of control with it. So that's where I am. I'm not going to sit on the fence and say it's good and it's bad. Personally, I think that they should be stopped. I know for a lot of these streamers, it's their income and what have you. But it's obviously I don't say I'm anti-gambling, because it exists. You know what I mean? It's a thing, and a lot of people get a lot of pleasure out of it. Just because I can't gamble, in a controlled manner, doesn't mean to say everyone else has got affected. I just think that they should be stopped. Because long term, I think they're causing greater damage than they are doing any good. And for their own gain. It's just the tobacco companies weren't able to sponsor any sporting events, and don't see it on TV and stuff like that now. You can't even find any advertising if you go looking for it, for tobacco stuff. It's just going to be all bad stuff, isn't it? And it's the same with this, isn't it? It's like, it's out there if you go and look for it. But it just looks all too good. And if something looks too good to be true, then generally it is, isn't it? There's some absolutely nutty scenes out there with these bonus boys and stuff, and I think they were just the worst creation ever created. It's just absolutely scandalous that these gaming companies and what have you could get away with that. But the UK GC has got onto it and stopped it. A lot of these casinos now, with the restrictions in place, the streamers have had to move out, so a few of them have buggered off to Ireland, and they're out in Malta and that, and streaming their services from there. So it's just like they could see it coming, and they're doing a runner. Transparency from a lot of them. I mean, they've been questioned. There's a guy I've just recently subscribed to. Go and check him out, actually. His affiliates are fake, is his YouTube site. Watched a load of his stuff. I mean, he's just he's ruthless and relentless on them. Gets involved in their chats and stuff and haggles them down. I mean, they're never really gonna give him any answers live on stream, but why don't the transparency's not there, is it? I mean, you're never going to know for sure where the cash comes from. They can try and prove things, but again, if you're a skeptic like me, there's always that question, what's the outcome of it? Whereas, I've seen them, like I say, come from nothing, just living in these little mundane places, and then all of a sudden, they're gambling. If you do the maths, sort of like £500,000, £750,000 a year, if you do the maths. So it's like, well, where's that come from, And the early day videos, I mean, their reactions to winning sort of 500-600 quid would be like what we would have been like, ecstatic, and it's just like, it's a good win. And they were like that in the early days. But now some of these streamers, they win like 10k, and it's like they've still been smacked in the mouth, So it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. So it's just like, I think over the course of time, when they're doing all of these videos on such a regular basis, the facade is quite hard to maintain, so I think, at the beginning it's like, I can make out I'm getting these wins. It's not too bad, but doing them 3-4 times a day, some of these streamers are, it's a hard thing to keep up, isn't it? And then that's when the cracks start showing, and the skeptics start coming out, and making a bit of a fuss. So yeah, affiliates are fake. He's well worth going to see. Only Phil's done a video on it as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. So yeah, go and look at that as well. But yeah, I just, it's just one of those things. I stumbled across Affiliates Are Fake site, and I just thought, yeah, it's probably worth. I did one of my second videos in. I did do a little mention about it, but I don't know. I wasn't really au fait on it, to be honest with you. But the more I've looked at it, and the more I've seen how big it is, the more concerned and worried I've been about it, really. And again, you're never going to know, but statistically, I'd love to know the figures of the people that have gone through these affiliate links and signed up and gone on to become, done their bollocks and lost every fucking penny they've had. Because I bet they're out there in their bloody hundreds, thousands, and they always try and suggest they're promoting responsible gambling, but they're not, are they? I mean, if you're doing fucking £100 spins and some tip was doing fucking £100,000 bonus buy, I mean, that's just fucking insanity, isn't it? And then on the bottom of his page, he's like, I always try and promote responsible gambling, put blocks in place, put limits. Limits, mate, you've just pinned £100,000 on a fucking bonus buy, you prick. That's just fucking madness, isn't it? Why promote responsible gambling when you're doing shit like that? We can't relate to that, can you? And then he's, saying in the next 6 months he's going to be doing like a £15 million. What, £15 million? This nip was only like in his 20s. Where's he got that from then? Do you know what I mean? He's sold all his top trumps or something. It's fucking mad. But hey, so like I say, these are my opinions. And they are my opinions. I'm entitled to them. I mean no harm to nobody about what I've discussed. But it'd be interesting to see what everybody else's thoughts are. I know pretty much, both sides of the story. I've heard, good things, and it's helped people. So again, that's why I'm not totally anti the streamers. If they're helping people, great. But on the other side of it, it's affected a lot of people, because they're watching this stream and thinking, well, that's great fun, I want to be like that, but unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, So yeah, like I say, it's my opinions, and I'm entitled to them. So everybody else can make a judgment. If you're watching this, obviously it's of interest to you, because it will be labelled as fake streamers, but that's up to you, isn't it? To look at the details and do the research if you're that bothered. But yeah, just be careful. It's harder now. I personally never ever, I was sort of finishing gambling when this sort of became popular, really. But I don't know anybody that I personally haven't signed up to any of the links. But hundreds of thousands have must have, and they are disappearing. These streamers, they're finding it hard to operate as they once did, and good, I'm happy in a sense that they're sort of dwindling down. These guys have probably earned a good living out of it while it was going on, so they can't be sad. They've got money to start a new career, haven't they, or a future. It's not like they've just lost their job, like through all the crap we've just been through, and people ain't got a pot to piss in. They've had their fun out of it and milked it for what it was. So yeah, you've got a starting block to do something different with your life, But anyway, that's my little rant over. Just thought I'd chuck one in. Probably going to be one of my shortest videos. Fucking nightmare, isn't it? 20 minutes here. But yeah, hope everybody's all right. And yeah, stay strong. I'll be posting something else hopefully fairly shortly. Yeah. All right. All the best to you. Cheers. Bye.